All right, we are live. So I hope you guys are doing great. This is Monday, our Monday We Huddle. Appreciate the time for you guys hopping on. I know we have some invited guests as well. One thing we like to do when we start off is just kind of sharing our wins. Did you have a win this weekend? Did you have a win last week? Just kind of quick 30 seconds of sharing those wins. Paul, you want to kind of start off and then we'll take it from there. And at the very end of our session, we're going to have Judy Ratsme share about some tips and trade secrets, that she's doing. So,
Love it. Love it. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about build again. Build 24. It's July 25th and July 26th here in Dallas, Texas. But if you're not in Dallas, it's all over the country. For the Orlando folks that are on right now, I found out y'all are doing like a 3-day cruise at y'all's build. It's crazy. Look it up. It's insane what you guys are doing out there if that's what you want to do. But the build here in Dallas, Texas, I highly recommend doing whatever you can to get down there. One of the greatest tools that you can ever give yourself is learning from your own mistakes. It's the greatest tool ever. You learn from your mistakes, you tweak it, you change it, you do something different. The challenge with that is that the most of us, we try to learn from our mistakes all by ourselves in our own little bubble. And we don't go out to Daniel and ask Daniel, hey, I made this mistake. What do you think I should do? Hey, I made this mistake. What do you think I should do? The thing about Build 24 on July 25th and 2026 is that you get to sit there and listen to people that are teaching you what they did to succeed. And as they're teaching you what they did to succeed, you're saying, okay, I made a mistake there. And he or she's doing it this way. It allows you to pivot and shift in ways you can't do with one-on-one training. One-on-one training can become critical, okay? It can become critiquing. But in a group setting, you actually come up with the idea like, oh, I need to do this. And now you're happier and you're more inclined to make that change and change your life. That's why Daniel was pushing hard for most of y'all to go to Tony Robbins. Because as you're sitting out there, you're saying, okay, wow, I need to do this differently in my life. Okay. And I love Tony Robbins and I think everybody should go. I've been there. I've walked across the fire. However, Build's going to be way stronger, way better. Here's why. The people up on the stage are telling you how to be successful in this business. Okay. Tony Robbins wasn't telling you how to be successful in this business with EXP. Okay. He wasn't doing that. But the speakers that are lined up, and Daniel can tell you, they are amazing. Speaker after speaker. Daniel's on the committee to put this whole thing together. By the way, y'all need to give him a big thanks and a hug when you see him. But seriously, when you're sitting there and they're talking, you are understanding what you have to do to learn from your mistakes. What happens is we go into our bubbles and we try to learn from our mistakes all by ourselves, and we repeat our mistakes and we repeat our mistakes. And we say things like, doing the same thing over and over is the definition of insanity, but you're doing that because you're not searching outside. Okay. Unless you're going to a psychologist or doing something like that, then you're not doing that. So what you want to do is make sure you're there the 24th or 25th and 26th in Dallas, Texas, so you can understand and comprehend, oh, wow, I need to do X, Y, Z. And then on top of that, someone's going to say something from that stage. I promise you. And I tell you what, I will give you your money back that you paid for your ticket at the end of the convention. If you can come to me and say, I got nothing from this event. If you can say that to me, I will give you your convention ticket money back. Okay. I promise you, you're going to get something that's radically going to change your business. I don't care if you're a personal producer or you're a builder. Either one of you is going to get something. I promise you that. Okay. So make sure you get your tickets. And real quickly, I want to talk about my win for last week. I went to Juan and Bettina's office. I took Brian Clark and Peggy Patterson with me. One thing I'll tell you, if you're a builder, do nothing alone. Do absolutely don't go anywhere. Don't do anything alone. Always take people with you because they will hear something and y'all can all talk about it and everybody gets a little something different. Never, ever do anything alone. If you go to an event, take somebody with you. Watch Daniel. I mean, Daniel's always calling me, hey, can you do this with me? Can you do this with me? Can you do this with me? Because he knows when he goes by himself, it doesn't multiply. It's just with him. So I got to go to their office last week. What a cool couple. Thank you, Daniel, for building the reputation that you have built in this organization for me and Peggy and Brian to be able to walk into that office and they treat us like freaking kings. That's because of the relationships that you have built. So I appreciate you for that. And that was my big win for last week.
thank you, Paul. All right, raise those digital hands. We got Peggy Patterson.
Hi,
Always the
good morning,
first, always first in
everyone.
line. I like that.
I'm the shortest. If I'm not first, you're not going to be able to see me. So I figure I got to get up front. You know what I mean? Yes, good morning, everybody. And I just wanted to say that, the one thing I've learned this week is that anything you do, pretend what you do makes a difference because it does. You are so impactful. Even though you think you're doing nothing, you are. And like Paul was saying, you can influence people. You can bring people with you. They don't even have to take your word for it. Hey, I'm going to this meeting. I'm on this call. I'm surrounded by these fantastic people that just lift me up every day. And if you don't get that, that's cool. But if you do, come on along. I mean, when we went to Bettina's and Juan's meeting last week, I was, I have high energy anyway, but I was so pumped by the time I got out of that meeting. I mean, just the support and the caring and the compassion, and it's amazing. I've never been a part of anything like this in my life, and so I'm just super psyched about it all the time. Um, so that was a win for me for the week because it's a grind, you guys. It's a day in, day out, and like Paul said, you're not alone. Reach out to somebody, even if it's just to say, hey, you got 5 minutes to talk, or can we have some coffee? I'm feeling, I need some inspiration. I need something, just even a conversation sometimes will help you align yourself and reset yourself on your track. And this is the village to do it in. I've never felt more safe or secure or proud of just the things that I've accomplished so far and my team. I love hearing your guys' successes. I love hearing how proud you are and what you're doing right now. So for me, mine is about this week. I got a new client this weekend. We're looking for a house for rent because they're not ready to buy. And, that's part of it too, is educating your client while educating yourself. Can't tell you how important that is because we're all learning. Even Daniel and Paul, who I think know everything, or will say it. I don't know everything. I'm learning every day too. So are you. Maybe you're going to teach me something I don't know. So give yourself grace in that, and just be grateful and humble that you're part of such a fantastic team. And I can't wait to hear about everybody's successes. So I'm going to stop talking now. But thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, all of you, for being who you are. Because as a collaborative, I'm thrilled to what we can accomplish.
All right, thank you, Peggy. Appreciate it very much. All right, Ton, let's go.
Morning, team. Hope everyone have a great weekend. Thanks, Daniel, for putting this meeting together. Paul for always doing the awesome announcement that's really motivating us, our team. Wins for the last week. I had a listing, did a video, um, very successful open house. We were there, it was only scheduled for 2 hours. We were there for 3 hours, even to the point where we're about to leave. Somebody pulled up, talked to them, and got some leads. So I got my mentee there watching me, as well as two future realtors. One almost done with the class. Another friend is gonna get his exam soon. They're very self-motivated, and they got to see firsthand from beginning to the very end. So I mean, I felt that, they're really watching me and watch how I look and how I convert some of the buyers to leads. I mean, people come in, hey, I have an agent, but at the end, we had the conversation. The mom said, hey, you should use this gentleman. He seems to know what he's doing. So that felt great. The second win for the week was a potential client called me and said that he wants to buy with me. And thankful that I have helped them in the past, even though he didn't buy with me in the past. I provided service, just how to apply for homestead exemption. And so he felt thankful and knowledgeable that what I do. And this time around, he wants to use me to be his buyer's agent. So felt that was a great win, big win there.
All right, thank you, Ton. Heidi, out in Florida.
Good morning. Big win is making it to this meeting. Yay, I've missed a couple of weeks because I was busy working. I apologize, but I'm always happy to be with this team. Couple wins on my end. I had an open house. I staged my very first house. Got 3 offers right away. We accepted one, gotten past all the inspection periods. It was a cash offer. So everything's moving really quickly. Another win. I spent 4 days in a row also helping this couple look at houses to get them into an area where they wanted to live. Finally found a house. We're putting in an offer today. So I'm happy about that. A third win is I had a meeting with a couple from my church that are needing help selling their house and love me and trust me. So they asked if I could help them. So I've got another one in the works. So 3 wins in a row, trifecta.
That's great. That's great. All right. Anyone else? Any hands up? Want to share a win real quick?
I can, Daniel. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, so I just wanted to reiterate what Paul was saying about the meeting last week. It was fantastic to join some folks from out of the team. They were incredibly welcoming, and we spent probably a good 30 minutes just even after it was over, just chatting with people, and I definitely learned a lot. The other thing that I would add from my personal experience, and this is a big thank you to Paul and Daniel, is I play a ton of competitive pickleball, and there is a lot of realtors that play pickleball because they tend to have flexible schedules. And so, long story short, I met this woman. She works for a big firm here in Dallas, very successful, very content. But I just started asking her a couple questions about, how was her comp, um, and so the lesson for me was that, even though someone says they're super sort of content with what they're doing, when I just asked a couple questions and I said, she told me what her commission split was, and I said, well, do you have a cap on that? And she's like, no, there's no cap. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, the deal that I'm associated with, we put a cap on that. And she's like, really? And so it just took that one little thing to get somebody like her who's been very successful sort of interested. And now we've actually got a meeting at Daniel's office this Wednesday with her. And, I have no idea how it's going to go. But I do know that, I'm very confident in Paul and Daniel that will put on a great show for her. And if she says, hey, I'm interested in doing more, it could be a great success next week or maybe the week after or the month after. But I guess the lesson for me was, just because someone says, hey, I'm a super agent, doesn't mean that they're not interested in this opportunity if we actually tell them about this opportunity. So
Yeah, Brian. Setting up the meeting, if an agent is willing to meet in person, right, that's a big win because it just shows that people are open-minded. And that's the main thing, is like they're meeting because they just want to learn. And all we're doing when we meet with Agent Attraction is just kind of share what we're doing, learn about them, and if we can find a solution, right? If I can help, if that agent is paying a company, $50,000 or $60,000 because there's a top producer, what else can they do with that money? Can they hire a personal assistant? They can hire 3 VAs or whatever they want to do with that. There's just little things we can just kind of figure out. So thank you, Brian. I look forward on that Wednesday meeting as well. Carolyn.
All right. So win for this week is, well, I finally closed that first sale that I've been talking about, but my win is just the confidence it's giving me to get through that first sale, that I kind of know what I'm doing now, and and that I can do this. So think that's going to help me even just, with new clients, because I know I can do it. And we got
Perfect.
this.
You got this. That's right. Really proud of you on your first deal. Just continue on. That's just the first step, and then many more. So I know that Josie Lynn in Houston, one of our partners there, has a big event in September. She's piggybacking off of CCIM. It's another commercial event, and she's doing if you're interested in understanding more, schedule a time with her on her development, her projects, things that she's also doing. She's a developer. She's we call her Mama Goose because she's one of our leaders in Houston and taking care of her tribe down in Houston as well. Appreciate her sharing that flyer. So she did put in the chat if you want to take a look at it. And if you have more questions, we can schedule a time, another Zoom with Josie to look over all her projects, all those things as well, so we can schedule that because she does schedule a Zoom call once in a while with us. So thank you, Josie. Anyone else? Anybody wanted to share a win? We got Rashada. Thank you for raising your hand. Yes, go ahead, Rashada.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm on hold on the other line, but I want to chime in real quick. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I have a question. I want to know if any team members are in Grayson County. I have a new listing there and I'm going to need some help showing possibly.
I don't think anyone that I know of is in Grayson. You might be able to pull up on Workplace and then find another EXP team member in Grayson. I know they want to try to help here first, but yeah, post it on Workplace and then just type in Grayson County and you might pop up people. And I'm glad that Anna was able to join your
Thank you.
Women's Council event. I saw that. That was great. It looked like a great event. Sorry I couldn't make it.
Thank you. It was a great turnout. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, I have to set the example, so I need to raise my hand, right? I need to raise my hand. There we go. So I want to share some wins. So last week, busy week, right? We had different events. I had a Metrotex event. I had a real estate investor event, and then Judy had an event with her open house on her office pods, just events after events after events. Just the wins has just been great. This morning, I wanted to kind of share a win. We had our top producers, our icon agents, our cappers come together this morning to kind of talk about production. A lot of you guys know that my focus is growth, and I wanted to create a group so focus on production so they can share resources, and whatever they're learning and adding, we can take those resources and plug it into the rest of the group so we can kind of share those best practices, share what people are doing. We have a team, their goal is doing 80 transactions this year, plus $80 million in sales. That is their goal, and they knew they was a far fetch, but they're getting there, right? They've already done 60 deals this year to date, and it's only July. 60 deals, right? A team of 5. So, and I want to share another win. Ella she went to Hong Kong with her family for a family trip, and I was able to help, celebrating her mom and things like that. And I said, hey, can I treat your mom for dim sum? So I sent her a red envelope, right, for her mom so they can go get dim sum. So she sent me pictures this morning, and her mom sent a video saying thank you, and just providing for our team, things that way. I wish Calvin was in Hong Kong, then they can meet up and meet with Ella. But I'm glad that she was able to take some time off, and travel from Philippines to Hong Kong with her family. So that's a great thing. And another win is you guys being on here, right? And just showing up is the best thing, is because you guys are taking away 30 minutes to an hour of your time to start your day right. And imagine that just continues on, inviting other great people. I know we have some guests on the call as well, new faces as well, and people who've just joined our organization. Get to know our culture, right? We are business partners together. This is not like, oh, you're joining my team, you're joining my group, you're my agent. No, nobody's my agent, right? That mentality, that typical franchise model is no longer existing. We are all business partners wanting to level up, wanting to learn from each other, bringing to the table. And if you imagine that we're at a dim sum restaurant and having this little lazy Susan in the middle, chopsticks, everyone's into the middle, everyone's providing a dish, and then we get to share that dish like a potluck. So just think about that mentality, and I'm going to let Judy take it off. We've got 10 minutes. Judy, take it away with some sharing some tips. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel, for giving that beautiful analogy. Everything is family style here. The lazy Susie with all of the entrees. That's really good. So yes, thank you guys for being on this call. Really appreciate it. Just a beautiful morning of just amazing things being said on this call. Paul talked about build, Daniel's talking about growth and production. So we need to remember that there are two parts in this business. It's growth and production, and they are two different businesses in approach, right? So it's July 1st, end of Q2. Where were you at in the beginning with your goals? Where are you at now with your goals? I think we all need to check ourselves and just pivot where we need to. So I just finished a book called Knowing is Not Doing. And as Paul is saying, we're going to this build event and people are going to tell you how to succeed in this business. But they're going to tell you these things. What's next? You have to apply it. So you can know all of the things, you can have the roadmap to have a successful business, but then you have to apply it. You have to do. So now that we're in halfway through the year, we really have to do to reach our goals. And we hear that all the time. We know what we're supposed to do. And if we're doing the same thing as Paul said, we need to change, something needs to change. So I'm just repeating what everybody else has said, but I just wanted to emphasize that because I know that this group is very capable and we can really leverage each other in our business. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyone want to add anything? Well, another win is I got to speak with an agent in Kansas because Sunny was able to connect and I was able to share uh, just to learn about another agent in this different market. I know we have Darren Lum as a guest invited from Salt Lake City through Paul and just making those connections. Appreciate you just hopping on. So, the purpose of these calls on our Mondays is just sharing, getting together really quick and sharing some wins, having some tips, but main thing is continue to learn that production comes first, building comes second, right? Because if you're in real estate, you're doing production. But at the same time is you have to learn to build too, because you're building something for the future where retirement is in play, right? Because the franchise model, the typical brokerage, there was never a retirement for agents. And when you understand this EXP platform and all these other disruptive cloud-based platforms, they're saying that there is a retirement plan. Yes, they're copying our model, but we're the largest and we're the first, right? And we're being agile. That's why RevShare 2.0 came out this year. And actually today, July 1st, there's actually a bonus that's going to be applied to anyone that you guys bring on. So if you don't know, if you want to schedule a time to like, hey, Daniel, I really want to understand RevShare 2.0. I really want to understand how the bonuses are taking place. Please schedule time and I'll go over that. Or we can schedule another RevShare call if the group says, hey, can we do a Zoom call? Can we meet in person and go over the numbers again? I just want a refresher because just because you listen at one time doesn't mean you get it. When I first came into this platform, I was explaining the RevShare wrong for 6 months with Calvin. The numbers did not match, but we still kept on growing. So just imagine us making a mistake. You're going to do the same thing. So please ask those questions. Please go over it so you understand the importance. So I appreciate everyone getting on the call. Anything on the commercial side that you want to continue to learn, we do have a commercial class coming up, I believe next week or in 2 weeks. And then Cindy's teaching that. And then there's a residential class here locally in Dallas. We do put that on a live recording as well. So if you're out of Dallas, we post those things as well. And if you have any other questions, let us know. Oh, Rashada, you raised your hand.
Yes, I have a question. The warehouse that we toured with George, where do I get the flyer information for that? And was it for sale only or for lease?
Was that the one we did a few
on the last tour, the industrial building tour, with Cindy?
I wasn't there, so let me ask Cindy which property that was.
It's the same one we did before on the
Meadow Parkway.
Yes.
That one's should be for lease unless things have changed.
For lease. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do I find it? George's information.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hope you guys have a great day. If anyone wants to stay on the call, the chat real quick, I can stay on. I'm gonna take off the live recording real quick.